Alright, today's Sunday, June 5th. It's about 5:30-ish, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there in the evening. Today we relaxed pretty much all day. We went and had some big piece of steak at the restaurant and did a little bit of shopping. Just had a day away from the house, which was nice for a change. I'll show you inside the cattle panel, which as you can see now the plastic has been removed the other day. And if you keep up with videos, you saw that it was already off from the video from the other day. But I'm going to walk in here and look. We got tomatoes and they look really nice. Actually, this near starting to flower, which is a good thing. These are all cherry tomatoes and they look great. And onions. Those are all onions, bunching onions. And there's a weed. That's alright too, the weeds ain't gonna hurt nothing. Up there's actually two of those weeds up there, sunflowers, looks like coming up. And on this side we have ginger.
Ooh.
It all ain't up. Hopefully it comes up, but who knows. And we had tomatoes on this side last year. Ginger on that side last year. So this year we got tomatoes growing here. And there's a whole bunch of them growing right there. I'm just going to let them go for now. If they ever take the ginger, I might take care of them. But otherwise, I'm just let them grow. Just let the tomato weeds be tomato weeds. It's all good. And if the ginger don't soon start coming up in this bed, I'm going to have to put something in there because it's a waste of goodness. There's ginger in here, but you know, there's one here, one there. We put probably 50 or 60 roots in here.
Well, we haven't gotten rain.
True, but I've been watering it, so
True.
It's not like I ain't got water. And there's another tomato. I can't remember how many I have, but that was what was left in a package, so I stuck it in there. And then she put more onions in over here. I need to pull the weeds or weed this area here, which I usually weed on Sundays, but this morning I just didn't do anything. We brought out our birds. These are the meat birds, all but that one. You have to go up so you can get a good look. I just hung the water up a minute ago.
Say cheese.
They're there trying to dust bath. These are our McMurray big red broilers. We'll butcher those in August sometime. They take a little longer to grow out than the Cornish cross, but they're more of a chicken than a Cornish cross is. They're still a hybrid, but not like a Cornish cross. So these should be a little darker. The darker meat should be more darker than what you get in the stores. Legs in the stores are almost like a white meat anymore. These should be pretty dark, like a brownish, almost like a beef collar meat. A little better flavor too, I think, but that's just me. To each their own. But these birds should, and they're healthier birds. The Cornish cross, a lot of times people say they have issues with them having heart attacks and that because they grow so fast. These grow pretty fast, but they don't grow as fast, so they should hopefully all live.
Yeah.
We lost one early on, but that was no big deal.
And there's one blackie, they call him, that's back there.
There's a bird that came with. I'm not sure what kind it is. I would assume it's a black sex-link, but I ain't real sure on that.
We'll have to integrate her.
Yeah, him or her, whatever, in with the egg layers. And if you look over here, you'll notice that the egg layers were in this area. And they're no longer in this area. So we put a cover crop in here, and if you didn't see that video, I'll leave a link to it below because I videoed that. Actually, that's the video that I uploaded this morning. The raspberries, I haven't checked on them for a while. I definitely need to weed the raspberries. Lay cardboard down and add some wood chips to them would be the best thing to do. And they're definitely getting some flowers on them, so how many we'll get, I don't know, but we'll definitely have some raspberries this year for sure. This year's going to have a fair many. If the deer and birds don't get them first, we'll get some raspberries. That one there, right there, is loaded with raspberries.
Oh, wow.
Well, loaded with flowers. There ain't no raspberries on them yet. These we normally harvest late July, early August in this area. But there's a lot of flowers on them. Actually, I'm kind of kind of happy how they turned out for being the first year in here. I'm just gonna let them go. I ain't gonna. They probably recommend you don't let them flower first year, but you know what? That's all a bunch of BS. Nature puts them on there whenever they want them on there. So Mother Nature's smarter than I am, so I'm gonna let her do her thing. See, we'll look here first. A lot of these trees, a lot of the trees I planted last year didn't come back, but I kind of expected some would not come back. But we have horseradish growing and comfrey growing. This comfrey came from Pastures Farms, and I'll leave their link below for the comfrey and bone sauce. We bought more of each.
And just to refresh people's memory, what's the bone sauce for?
Keep the deer away. Keeps deer, and they say it keeps rabbits away too. I don't know. I put on all of these trees that we just planted this year, and I put it on a couple wooden sticks. I need to do some more wooden stakes with it, but I haven't seen deer in our yard or down here since I put the bone sauce on. But I did buy more because I ran out. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I've been pretty busy this week.
And we did get more comfrey.
We got more comfrey.
We just haven't gotten it planted.
Right. It's in the refrigerator. These, if you remember last week, the potatoes, they were freezer burnt because we got a frost a week ago. Not this past week, the week before. And they're all coming back pretty good. You see some of them still has a little damage on them, but there's definitely a lot of new growth on them. And they all look really good. Down here on this end, when we cleaned out the brooder, I put all them wood chips was in the brooder, so these definitely look better. The ones that was in the with the brooder wood chips look better than the rest of them, the potatoes do. So, you know, I don't know. Is that why? Or is it just a coincidence? I don't know, but they all need mulched because there's weeds growing pretty bad in them. And I've got to mow the field and bag it up to get that grass to put around these. So I'll do that hopefully this week sometime. I don't know for sure when, but hopefully this week. One evening this week. Here was a pawpaw. I'm sure it's gone, but we got comfrey, horseradish, and more comfrey. That's a blueberry. That's a persimmon, but the comfrey's good, which is good. I'll take the comfrey.
I want the persimmon.
This pawpaw here is coming back, so it didn't die on us, which is a good thing. And it's got, oh, I just stepped on the comfrey. It's got a comfrey here, and horseradish, and comfrey.
And comfrey there.
Oh yeah, and comfrey there. I didn't see that one. Good eye.
I thought you put 3 around.
I did. And this is a peach, and it has comfrey. That comfrey there looks like it. I don't know what happened to it, but it definitely don't look good. Oh, I probably did that the other night when I put that down. I probably stepped on it or something. This peach definitely looks good. I'm going to prune it back a little bit, but it looks really good. The new growth is coming up really nice. This was a persimmon. It didn't come back, but we have horseradish coming up, and there's a comfrey right here.
I don't remember you putting that one down there.
Yeah, there could be a couple around there. But we didn't get all the comfrey. We put 20 roots out last fall, and they didn't all come back, but that is whatever. We got half of them, or probably more than half of them actually come up, which is a good thing. So, I just wanted to show you this. I hadn't shown you this in a while, and the weeds are taking over. I need to get some cardboard and wood chips and cover all this up again. Get the weeds and stuff suppressed. We got some fruit trees up there. There's 3 apple trees that haven't sold yet, so I'll probably put those 3 apples in this bed when I get it cleaned up. This here, if you remember correctly, was a big mound of weeds where we took the sod out of the garden and we put it here, which that's why that pile's there. And then the other night weeded this whole bank and covered it up, and we're going to put, I'm not sure what we're going to put in this row here, probably flowers or who knows what, peppers, tomatoes, I don't know. This middle row we're going to put a bunch of winter squash in it, maybe some watermelons and cantaloupes. And this row up here we're going to put flowers and who knows what all in it. But we're not going to put any, we're not going to put anything in that row that will vine and get into the fence. Don't touch that fence because it's pretty hot.
It's on.
Yes. The fence, I just put it up the other night too. Well, if you watched our videos too this week, you've seen I was off this past week and got a lot of chores done that needed done. And this is one of them that needed done. I got the fence up, put wire up above. Hopefully this keeps the deer out. I tested this fence the other day, and it had right at 10,000 volts on it. So it's definitely hot.
Hopefully it shocks them and they never come back.
Yeah, well, hopefully the bone sauce keeps them away so they don't even test it.
Well, that's true.
But we used Premier One. We used poultry netting, and the main reason we used poultry netting was because if we just put high tension line up, which I was gonna do, the rabbits could still get in. Now the rabbits can't get through them holes, and if they do try to, they'll get shocked. So
because the lower, what,
the lower 3 or 4 strands are pretty close together.
They're way smaller than the top ones.
Yeah, this is a 12-3-28, which means there's 12 strands this way. The verticals are 3 inches apart, and it's 40 inches tall. So this is 48 inches, then I got that up there. These are 7-foot T-posts, so that's probably 6 feet out of the ground. So that's probably roughly 6 feet tall, maybe not quite that. Got the corn in. Of course, it's just seeded.
This looks so much better.
It does. I love the look of the garden.
We got mulch in the walkways.
Yep, mulch in the walkways. But that you saw, it was in the last update. Sweet potatoes are in. This here's dry beans in this bed. 2 rows of dry beans we got put in this week. There is, I'm not sure how many peppers is in there again. I can't remember, like 37 or 38 peppers in that row. This row here has nothing in it yet. We're going to put flowers and some tomatoes and a couple other ends. We was going to put carrots in this bed, but carrots, I don't have an issue germinating carrots, so I'll give up on them. I'm not going to try them. And I personally don't like carrots anyway.
I love carrots, but they take too long.
Yeah. So we're just going to use that as an experimental bed. This bed here, I started putting the squash in on this side, winter squash. And I got some cantaloupes, or watermelons and cucumbers I want to put on this side of it as well. And I'd run out of, I didn't have them. I thought we started them all, but we didn't start them. So she started those. I'll hopefully get those in this week or next. There's still time for it, but whatever. And this side here, on this side of that trellis, I put a row of broccolis in with the cedar. And I scattered dill throughout everywhere. The main reason for the dill is because it supposedly deters the cucumber beetles, and we have an issue with cucumber beetles and vine borers here, so hopefully that takes care of them. But I know the reason is because of our soil isn't the best, so which makes our plants not healthy, not as healthy as they should be. But we're working on the soil, and that's one reason why we got wood chips in the walkways. That helps keep weeds down, it helps absorb moisture, and it'll rot up there so you can actually compost it. So probably next spring you can take that, will be compost, you can put it in your bed and put a new layer of wood chips down. Just keep the cycle going. So in theory you'll be more fungally dominated in the garden if you do that. This here's beets, and they're definitely germinating. I need to thin them down some, but I haven't had a chance to yet. And this bed here is more peppers. These are hot peppers up here in this bed. There's like 35 or 37. I'm not sure how many there is. I can't remember. And this bed up here is our tomatoes, same as it was last year. The only difference this year is we put our cherry tomatoes on the far end, both rows, and then our paste tomatoes, and then our rucklers on this end. Last year we did all cherry tomatoes on the back side, and our paste and our canning tomatoes and our paste tomatoes was on this lower end. This year we sectioned it out differently, but it's all
see
good.
if it works better.
If either will, it won't.
We can always go back to the other way.
Yep, for sure. And these are the egg layers. I put them up here, I think Wednesday morning, I think I ain't 100% sure, but I think that's when I put them up here. That's just a ring I put in there to put compost in, and then I'll feed them in that ring. That way they can make compost. Of course, it's so dry now they won't make compost, but they can break stuff up. And where it is right over top of where their coop was until I pushed it back. I need to move the coop back again tomorrow evening. I'll move it back again. Here's our new egg layers. We put them up against these so they can see one another. In a week or so, we will take this down and hope for the best. Won't take it down per se. We'll take it down where they can intermingle with one another, and if it works out, it'll stay down. If it don't, I'll put it back up and keep them separated a little longer. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works perfect the first time. We all know how that goes.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. There's 25 of these, and last year as much compost as we made with those 13, we get 25 more in there. We'll hopefully have enough compost that we won't be running scarce on it this year. This year we didn't have enough compost. I didn't get any in all in the upper garden, and didn't get only half as much as I wanted in the lower garden. So hopefully next year I won't have that problem. I don't know what kind of birds any of them are, but some of them are really pretty.
I like the ones with the mohawks. But
Yeah.
I don't know, them couple
Them
with
are pretty
orange.
too. Up here we have the garden. It's actually growing fairly well. We need to weed it badly because as you can see in the onion bed, in the onions there, weeds are taking over. Excuse me. They're growing all right, but they're definitely getting weedy. They'll grow better without the weeds in there. They don't like competition. Here the Swiss chard's looking really good. I got to get the weeds out of it too, but the Swiss chard's looking good. Kale on the other end's looking good. And these walkways just got leaves and whatever else. There's corn stalks and all kind of stuff in the walkways, but I need to wood chip them as well, but I haven't had a chance to yet. The spinach, we harvested a bunch of spinach Friday. Actually, I shouldn't say we. She harvested a bunch of spinach Friday for the farmer's market. And it looks like we could harvest a bunch more. The peas, there's still no flowers on the peas. There's a sunflower growing right there, though.
Yes, it is. Huh. But boy, they're growing nice.
They are.
Finally got them trailing.
Yeah. For the most part, there's still a couple of stragglers that don't want to trail. But you have that all the time for some reason. The bush beans are looking all right. They're green beans, bush style green beans. The pole beans, they're growing all right. There'll be a while before there's anything there, but and we need some rain as well.
Rain.
This is carrots and weeds. Carrots and weeds in here. There's some carrots. Much time as it took to, well, it didn't take time to put them in, but you spend all that time to water them, and you still water them twice a day, and you still only get 20% germination. It's not worth my time or that garden bed to worry about carrots.
So what are you thinking of putting in there?
I have no idea what I'll put in there, but it won't be carrots. The lettuce is looking good. We might be able to have some of it for this weekend's market. It's possible. The garlic, it's looking really good. It's actually starting to get the scapes on it now.
Ooh.
So we may have garlic scapes this weekend at the market too, the way it looks.
This weekend or next?
Yeah. Or both. Come up here. Here's a wheat fest as well, but I ain't really too much worried about it. The more weeds that's on the ground, the more ground cover you have like that, the less evaporation you have, and as dry as it's been, we need all the help we can get to keep the water from evaporating, because this is ridiculously dry here this time of year. But we got some sunflowers popping. They look good too, actually. We got some kind of squash or
Yeah. Out in the middle of nowhere.
got some loofah gourds. That there looks like a kale to me. Maybe I would assume it's a kale, but I ain't positive on that. It's definitely a brassica of some type. Loofahs and all the other winter squash looks okay. I think they got too much nutrition in this bed from the chickens being here all winter long. I think that's why their leaves are yellowing. I think they kind of burned them a little bit, but some of them don't look real bad. So maybe it's not that. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's lack of water. I've watered them a few times, but probably not enough. Sunflower, it looks good. That started by itself. I'll put it there.
And it looks nice and strong.
Yeah. That there looks pretty good. It started its own self. Stuff that started on its own looks good, and the stuff that didn't is a little bit burnt, but that's fine. That started itself too. Compost, I need to flip it. I hadn't flipped it in a while. It's definitely past its due date. It's actually still warm in there though. And still moist too, believe it or not.
Huh?
I'll flip it one night. There's a tomato.
For people that can't grow tomatoes, they
There's a
can't
tomato.
not grow tomatoes.
They grow everywhere. They grow where they want. I don't stop them from growing. I don't care, really. Sunchokes are definitely taking over. They look good for being in a drought. They definitely look good. The asparagus, it's been neglected. I know she harvested some the other day. We had asparagus last night with some fried chicken. She makes the best fried chicken there is. KFC ain't got nothing on her, I can guarantee you that much.
I've made better, but
yeah, oh yeah,
it was
made
good.
Better, but it was still good. And I'm gonna get some right now while I'm standing here.
And there's still new ones
There's
coming
still new
up.
ones coming up. Yep, there are. They'll come up like that for a while yet.
It seems like they're still they're lasting longer, or maybe it's because we've had it and they've grown. And how many years have we had asparagus now?
8 or 10 years probably.
I was gonna say so.
Not sure what this is. It just started growing.
That's one of the pole trees.
Oh yeah, I guess it is.
Oh, clear over there. We never had it that far.
No, maybe we'll let that grow. Cut the rest of them down.
Holy cow! I need to cut the rest of them down.
Yeah, I know. I need to
Jeez.
get my chainsaw out and take care of it. Take care of the little boogers.
And there's our huge
Yeah,
rhododendron.
it is huge. It is beautiful though.
This one's lasting longer than the other one
It came on later though. It doesn't bloom the same time.
because it's got more
That-
shade.
I don't know if it's that or why, but it blooms in probably 3 or 4 days after that one blooms.
And the bees on it.
And we got a lupine right here too, so
Yep.
that's helping this and the asparagus actually, because this is a legume, which is a nitrogen fixer. So that actually helps all this other stuff grow better. The more of them you can have intermingled with your stuff, the better off you are.
And if you ever need something in your yard to attract bees, a rhododendron's the way to go.
Yeah, but it only lasts for a week.
Well, that's true, but there's like a million bees
Bumblebees.
that come this way.
Yes. Yes, there is. And apples are forming. We have some on this tree. Like I said last week, not near as many as we do on the other tree, but I pruned them both, but I need to prune them again. But they're coming on.
Yep.
There's some up there, over there. Probably be surprised how many you find whenever you actually harvest. This bed here was our potatoes for, I think 2 or 3 years we grew potatoes in this bed. This year we're letting it go. I put a cover crop in it last year, but in the fall. Mowed it a couple times, well she did. Had the chickens in here for a while and then she mowed it once or twice. I think I'm just gonna let it grow up. Because there is some potatoes actually coming up here and there. There's a lot of potatoes growing, so if we let them go, we should get a potato harvest out of this field and didn't do nothing to get them. These, I'm going to take a lot of these off in the next few weeks. When I get a chance, which it won't take that long to do, but I'm going to try to propagate a bunch of these apple trees.
There's a lot of new growth.
Yeah, and when you do that, you want to do it with the water suckers. But if you look up too, from where I'm standing at, there's hundreds of apples on this tree.
Wow. We've never had that many.
Never have had that many apples on a tree ever. Yeah. And actually, if you look up right there, that's got a lot on that one too.
Oh my gosh. These got tall. Like,
yeah, they got almost too tall. You cut the tops out of them. It's too hard to harvest. Anyways, it's going to wrap us up here, I believe, unless she can think of something else to talk about. I think I'm talked out. Kind of sore throat from talking too much. Anyhow, that's not true. Just joking. That's going to wrap it up. So if you're not already subscribed, please do so. Please share this with your friends and family. And pray for rain, because it's definitely dry. So
please pray for rain for us.
Till we meet again, take care and God bless.
See ya.